Okay, so if you're already using AI tools like ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, you know how powerful they can be.
Absolutely, they're game changers.
But how often have you tried to get something really specific, something strategic, and the answer comes back sounding super confident, but it's just off, doesn't quite hit the mark?
All the time. It's a really common frustration.
Yeah, and you start wondering, is it me? Am I not explaining it right?
Right. Or maybe you think you need a fancier tool or something.
Exactly. But what if the real issue is something more fundamental? Some experts are saying it's like a language barrier between us and the AI.
Yeah.
Could you maybe unpack that a bit? What does that barrier look like from the AI side?
That's a great way to put it, a language barrier.
Hmm.
Because, yeah, we're speaking human with all our nuanced assumptions, and the AI is processing based on, well, math and patterns. The translation definitely gets lost sometimes. And that's exactly where prompt engineering comes in. Basically, the bridge across that gap. It's not just about asking questions. It's more like the science of structuring what you tell the AI.
The science.
Yeah, structuring the input so you can guide it towards the answers you actually need, answers that are accurate, reliable, and, genuinely relevant.
Uh-huh.
So our goal today is really to help you learn how to speak that AI language and, crucially, how to trust the output more, because you'll understand why it's saying what it's saying and, maybe more importantly, when it might just be, well, guessing.
Right, knowing when it's confident versus when it's just sounding confident.
Precisely.
So our mission for this deep dive is simple. Take you from feeling maybe a bit frustrated or misunderstood by AI to really getting how to communicate with it effectively, like moving beyond just basic commands to using it as a proper strategic partner.
Yeah, getting past the party tricks to the real power.
Exactly. We want you to turn that confident guesser into a collaborator you can actually rely on. So let's dive in.
Okay, so to really get good at talking to AI, it does help to understand a little bit about what's going on, under the hood.
Right, because it can feel quite magical sometimes, almost like it's thinking.
It really can.
Yeah.
But underneath it all, even though it seems unpredictable, its operations are all based on strict mathematical rules. It's incredibly complex, sure, but it's calculations, not consciousness.
Okay, so math, not magic.
Exactly. And the core concept is something called token probability.
Tokens, right. I've heard that term.
Yeah. So when you type a command, like write me an email, the AI doesn't understand that request like a person would. Instead, it breaks your words down into these little pieces, tokens.
Okay.
And then instantly, it starts calculating the probability of what the very next token should be. Based on, the billions of text examples it learned from during its training, it's predicting the most statistically likely next word or part of a word.
So it's always just predicting the next piece of the puzzle based on everything it's seen before.
Essentially, yes.
Yep.
It's sequence prediction on a massive scale.
Okay, so if it's just predicting the next word, how does that lead to it sometimes making stuff up so confidently? Or just giving really generic, bland answers?
Yeah. That's the direct consequence of how it works. Because it's predicting based on probability and patterns from its training data, it's fantastic at generating text that sounds right, that flows well.
Uh-huh.
But that same mechanism means it can generate something that sounds totally plausible, but is factually wrong. It's just following the most probable word sequence, It's not checking facts against the real world.
So it doesn't know truth, it just knows common word patterns.
Exactly. It knows patterns. And if you don't give it clear structure, it's like, imagine spinning a giant roulette wheel with millions of possible text patterns on it.
Okay.
You say, write an email, and the wheel spins. Will it land on business email, personal email, sales pitch, maybe even a breakup email pattern? It's literally guessing based on the fragments you gave it.
Wow, okay. That roulette wheel image really clicks.
But, yeah, when you provide structured input, you become the one guiding the ball, leading the AI right to the specific pattern you actually want. You stop it from just wandering around the possibilities.
Right, so we need to stop throwing random words at it and start giving it more of a blueprint. But what does that structured input data actually look like? How do we build that blueprint?
That's the million-dollar question. And it brings us to the core of practical prompt engineering. We're going to walk you through what we call the gold standard for getting consistently great results. It's a 6-component framework for basically every prompt you write.
6 components. Okay. Is this something proprietary?
Not at all. In fact, it aligns really well with the kind of principles Google and other major AI labs teach in their advanced courses. It's just a structure that, honestly, most everyday users haven't really been taught or haven't explored properly.
Okay, cool. So let's make it concrete. Let's use an example. Say you're running an online bookstore. You've got a new detective novel coming out, and you want a really killer social media post for it. Not just new book here, but something that actually creates buzz. How would we use this framework?
Perfect example. Okay, so we build the prompt piece by piece, component one, role. You need to tell the AI who it should be.
Assign it an identity.
Exactly. Stop it from being a generic chatbot. Make it an expert.
Mm-hmm.
So for our bookstore, you'd start with, you are a content marketing expert specializing in the book publishing industry.
Ah, okay, so it adopts that persona.
Right. It accesses the patterns of vocabulary associated with that role. Second component, context. Give it the background info it needs. The more detail, the better.
Makes sense.
So for the book, I'm preparing to launch a new detective novel. It's written by a Vietnamese author. The target audience is young readers, say 18 to 30, who are into mystery and thriller genres. And they're mainly active on Facebook and Instagram.
That's pretty specific. Author background, audience, platforms.
Yep. Details matter.
Yeah.
Third component, the task. Be crystal clear about what you want it to do, no vagueness
Okay.
for our post.
Yeah.
Write a promotional social media post for this book. The main goal is to create curiosity and encourage readers to pre-order it. Direct, unambiguous.
Got it. Task is clear.
Fourth, format. This is crucial. How do you want the output to look? Word count, bullet points, emojis.
Oh, right, the actual structure of the response.
Exactly. So you'd add, present the output as a Facebook post, roughly 150 words. It must include a shocking opening line, 3 bullet points highlighting the most intriguing plot elements without spoilers, and a clear call to action, a CTA, to pre-order the book. Use a placeholder for the link.
Wow, okay. Super prescriptive.
It helps avoid randomness. Fifth component, rules. Set the guardrails. What should it do? And just as importantly, what should it not do?
The do's and don'ts.
Yeah, like, do. Use a captivating and mysterious tone. Feel free to use appropriate emojis. Do not reveal any major plot spoilers. Avoid using overly formal or academic language. This helps prevent unwanted results.
Okay, keeps it on track.
And finally, the sixth component. This one's like the secret sauce that many people miss. Examples.
Show, don't just tell.
Exactly. You can actually show the AI what good looks like by providing an example of something that worked before.
Oh, interesting.
So you could add, please reference the tone and style from this previous successful post. Then you'd paste the text of that post here. Ensure the new post is also energetic, relatable, and really drives curiosity. This helps enormously with brand consistency and getting the feel right.
That is powerful, giving it a direct reference point.
It really is.
Okay, so let's just pause and think about the difference here. Most people, myself included probably, would just type, write a promotional post for a new detective novel.
Right. And you'd get something. Okay, maybe. But likely, very generic, maybe a bit flat. Could apply to almost any book.
Yeah, totally forgettable.
Yeah.
Using that full 6-part prompt, I mean, the level of detail, the guidance, the
Yeah.
result has to be completely different.
It's night and day, honestly. I remember struggling with getting marketing copyright using AI early on, just getting bland stuff back again and
Oh, me
again.
too. Felt like pulling teeth.
Yeah. If I'd known this framework back then,
Hmm.
it just takes so much of the guesswork out of it for us. It turns the AI from this general, slightly unreliable assistant into a focused expert for that specific task.
It really elevates the interaction. Okay, so that 6-part framework is foundational.
Absolutely. That's your starting point for reliable results.
So now that we have that foundation, let's get into some of the more advanced techniques, the kind of stuff that really separates casual users from the pros who get amazing results consistently.
Okay, let's do it. The first one is really clever. It's called the confidence verification mechanism.
Confidence verification, okay.
The big challenge we mentioned earlier is that AI always sounds confident, right? Even when it's basically making things up, hallucinating.
Right, which can be dangerous if you just trust it blindly.
Yeah.
Leads to embarrassing mistakes.
Totally. So the solution is pretty ingenious. You actually force the AI to rate its own confidence level for the information it's giving you.
You ask it how sure it is.
Exactly. You add a specific instruction to your prompt, especially for important tasks. Something like, for each key statement or recommendation you make, please rate your confidence using this scale. Virtually certain, that's like 95% plus confidence. Highly confident, 80, 95%. Moderately confident, 60, 80%. Or speculative low confidence, below 60%. And briefly explain why you've given that rating.
Whoa. That is incredibly useful. But hang on, if the AI can hallucinate facts, can we actually trust its confidence rating about those facts? Isn't there a risk it just confidently tells you it's confident about something wrong?
That's a really short question, and it gets to the heart of it. The confidence rating isn't about the AI knowing objective truth in a human sense. It's about the AI reflecting the certainty level derived from its source data for that specific piece of information.
Ah, okay. So it's rating its source material in a way.
Precisely. Think about a financial analyst scenario. You ask the AI to analyze two companies. It might say its projection for company A's revenue growth is highly confident. Why? Because it's based on data from a recent, verifiable quarterly reported process.
Okay.
But then it might say its statement about company B's upcoming product launch succeeding is only moderately confident. Why? Because the source for that was maybe just an unverified press release or some analyst speculation it found.
I see. So it's flagging the reliability of the input information it used to generate the output. That gives you context.
Exactly. It tells you what's grounded in solid data versus what's more speculative. That difference is critical for making actual decisions based on the AI's output.
That's a game changer for critical tasks. Okay, brilliant. What's next?
Okay, so we've talked about getting the AI to tell us how confident it is, but what if? What if the AI could actually help you write the perfect prompt to begin with?
Wait, the AI helps write the prompt for the AI?
Yes, this is where the AI prompt assistant technique comes in. It's genuinely revolutionary.
Okay, mind blown already. How does that work?
Two main ways.
Yeah.
First, say you're starting completely from scratch.
Yeah.
You have a goal, like, I need a 3-month Instagram content strategy for my sustainable fashion brand. But you have no idea how to structure the prompt for the best results.
Yeah, happens all the time.
You just tell the AI, okay, I want to build this 3-month content strategy for my sustainable fashion brand on Instagram. My goals are X and Y. Can you please write me the optimal prompt that I should then use to get the most detailed and effective plan from you?
And it will write its own instructions.
Yes, it will generate a beautifully structured prompt for you, probably using that 6-part framework, specifying the role it should take, the context it needs, the tasks, the format, everything. It knows what it needs to do its best work.
That's incredible. It saves you figuring out the perfect prompt structure yourself.
Totally. Okay, the second approach is for when you've already tried a prompt, but the results were, garbage, generic, unhelpful.
In there.
You can go back to the AI and say, look, I used this prompt. Plan some Instagram content for my handmade pottery business. Give me ideas. But the results were really weak. Can you analyze my original prompt, tell me why it was probably ineffective, and then improve it so I get a much better outcome next time?
And it critiques your prompt.
It does. It'll point out what was missing, like maybe you didn't specify the target audience or the brand style or your specific goals or the format you wanted, and then it will give you a revised, much stronger prompt structure to use. It literally becomes your prompt writing coach.
Wow. Okay, that changes the game from just using it as a tool to using it as a collaborator in the process itself.
Exactly. It partners with you to get better results.
All right, what else have you got in the advanced tooltip?
Next up is something really crucial, especially now with different versions of models available, the secret to choosing the right model.
Ah, like choosing between GPT-4 or Claude Opus or Gemini Pro, that kind of thing.
Precisely. It's not just about which company's AI, but often which specific version or model within their offerings. Most people just use the default, but pros know that different models are optimized for different tasks. Picking the right one massively impacts output quality.
Okay, so what are the main types?
Broadly, you can think about it like this. You've got creative models, think GPT-4 in some modes, Claude 3 Opus maybe. These excel at tasks needing emotional nuance, creative writing, brainstorming, generating novel ideas.
Right, for the artsy stuff.
Kind of, yeah. Then you have analytical and reasoning models like Gemini Advanced or GPT-4 Turbo. These are your powerhouses for complex problem solving, crunching data, logical deduction, detailed analysis.
Heavy lifters.
Exactly. And then you often have fast and light models, maybe Claude 3 Sonnet or Gemini Pro. These are great for quick, straightforward tasks where speed is important and deep complexity isn't the main goal, like quick summaries or answering simple questions.
Okay, that makes sense. It's like having different tools in a toolbox.
That's the perfect analogy.
Yeah.
You wouldn't use a sledgehammer to hang a picture frame, right?
Hopefully not. Can you give a concrete example of how choosing the wrong model messes things up?
Sure. Let's go back to that legal document example.
Okay.
Imagine you need to summarize a dense 5-page contract and identify potential risks.
Okay, important task.
If you feed that into a model optimized for analytical reasoning, it'll likely give you a precise summary. correctly flag the key clauses, and accurately pinpoint the potential risks and ambiguities.
What you need.
Right. Now run the exact same prompt on a model primarily designed for speed or maybe creative writing. You might get a summary that sounds okay on the surface, but it could easily miss crucial nuances, misinterpret a subtle legal point, or fail to identify a significant risk because its strength isn't in that kind of deep logical parsing.
Wow. Okay, so the same prompt can yield dramatically different quality and reliability depending on the engine running it.
Absolutely. Using the right tool for the job is paramount, especially for high-stakes tasks. It's not just about the prompt. It's the prompt plus the right model.
Got it. Use the right knife for the job. What's next?
Okay, technique number 4, the self-improvement loop. This one feels like unlocking a hidden superpower.
Self-improvement for the AI.
Yes. Instead of you getting a mediocre result, getting frustrated, and trying to rewrite the prompt from scratch.
Which I've definitely done many times.
We all have. Instead, you ask the AI to critique its own previous response and then improve it based on that critique.
Wait, really? You tell it to grade its own homework and then do it again better?
Exactly. It sounds crazy, but it works incredibly well. Imagine you use the 6-part framework to get, say, a draft for a 60-second TikTok video script about a language learning app.
Okay, you get a first draft. Probably decent.
Right, probably okay. But then you follow up with this instruction. Analyze your previous response. Identify 3 specific weaknesses in the script. Then rewrite the entire script specifically to address those 3 weaknesses. Let's do this process 3 times in total, focusing on different potential issues each round.
3 times.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So round 1, the AI might say, okay, the hook wasn't shocking enough, the call to action was a bit weak and the pacing felt slow. Then it rewrites the script, fixing those things.
Okay.
Then you run the instruction again. Round 2, it might analyze the new script and say, all right, the benefits are listed too dryly, there's no humor, and the example scenario isn't very relatable. Then it rewrites it again, addressing those points.
And round 3?
Maybe it focuses on character voice or visual suggestions or tightening the language further. Each iteration makes the script stronger, moving it from good to great to potentially excellent.
That's amazing. It's like having an internal quality control loop built right in, without me having to pinpoint all the flaws.
Exactly. It takes the burden of detailed critique off you and leverages the AI's own analytical capabilities to refine its output. It's incredibly efficient for improving quality.
That's a technique I'm definitely trying later today. Okay, I love
Number 5 is super simple but incredibly effective. Step-by-step thinking. You might also hear this called chain of thought prompting in some more technical circles.
step-by-step thinking. What's the magic phrase?
Literally just adding the instruction, think step by step. Add that phrase to pretty much any prompt asking for something strategic, complex, or requiring logical reasoning.
Just think step by step. That's it.
That's often enough. Its power is seriously underestimated. Study after study and just practical experience shows that prompts using this consistently deliver better, clearer, more reliable results, especially for things like business plans, marketing strategies, complex analysis, anything where the reasoning process matters.
Why? What does adding that phrase actually do?
It essentially forces the AI to externalize its internal thought process. Instead of just jumping to the final conclusion or recommendation, it has to first outline the logical steps it's taking to get there.
Ah, so it shows its work, like in math class.
Exactly like showing its work. Let's take that cold brew coffee launch plan example. A basic prompt might just give you a list of tactics. Okay, maybe useful.
Right, a list.
But add think step by step to that prompt. Now, the AI will likely structure its response differently. It might start with, okay, step 1, analyze the target audience for cold brew. Then step 2, define the product positioning and key messaging. Then step 3, identify optimal communication channels. Then step 4, develop a detailed 30-day content calendar. You see the structure?
Yes. It's laying out the whole strategic process, not just the final action items. You can follow the logic.
Precisely. Each step builds on the last. It moves the output from just generic advice to a well-reasoned, structured, strategic plan. It's much more robust and trustworthy.
That's incredibly valuable for anything strategic. Okay, one more advanced technique.
Last one for today, the priming technique. This is about warming up the AI's brain on a topic before you ask your specific question.
Priming, like getting it ready.
Exactly. Instead of diving straight into a very specific request, you first ask a broader related question. This activates all the relevant knowledge and concepts within the AI's network related to your topic.
Okay, how does that work in practice?
Let's say your goal is to create an email marketing campaign to improve customer retention for a SaaS product.
Okay, specific, cool.
Before you ask for campaign ideas, you prime the AI. You have something broader like, what are the key psychological principles that are known to increase customer retention and build brand loyalty, especially in a subscription-based business model?
Ah, so you're asking for the theory first.
Right. The AI will then explain concepts like, the endowment effect, reciprocity, loss aversion, the importance of community, self-determination theory, stuff like that. It activates that
Okay,
knowledge.
its brain is warmed up on retention psychology. Now what?
Now you hit it with your specific request, referencing the priming. Okay, you are an expert in customer retention marketing. Based specifically on the psychological principles you just outlined, propose 5 concrete strategies I can use in my email campaign to reduce our customer churn rate. Please present this as a structured plan, maybe with an example email subject line for each strategy.
Wow. And the result?
The results are usually incredibly impressive. Because you primed it, the AI doesn't just give generic tips like offer discounts. It starts applying those deeper psychological principles directly to your problem, leading to much more sophisticated, insightful, and genuinely strategic recommendations.
It connects the theory to the practice because you prompted it to do both.
Exactly. It leads to much deeper thinking.
These advanced techniques, they really shift the interaction, don't they? It's less about just getting an answer and more about guiding the AI to generate a high-quality, reliable, strategic answer.
That's the whole point, and it brings us to a really important mindset shift. A common trap people fall into is, they finally get one prompt to work well, get a good result, and they stop there. They celebrate the win.
Yeah, relief. Finally got something useful.
Right. But true prompt engineering, building real reliable systems, involves more. It's about testing that prompt, seeing where it might fail under different conditions, refining it, tweaking it until it's basically foolproof for that specific task.
Moving from one-off successes to repeatable processes.
Exactly. And that's why we strongly advocate for creating your own personal prompt library.
A library of prompts that work.
Yes. As you develop and test prompts, using the framework and these techniques, the ones that consistently deliver excellent results for specific tasks, save them.
Makes sense.
Organize, maybe by category like marketing, sales, data analysis, code generation, writing, whatever you do. Use a tool like Notion, Google Docs, Evernote, whatever works for you.
And the benefit.
The benefit is huge. Over time, you build this arsenal of tested, reliable prompts. Need to write a certain type of email? Boom, grab your prompt. Need to analyze sales data in a specific way? Grab that prompt. You're not starting from scratch or guessing each time. You're handling recurring tasks in seconds, reliably.
Takes the friction out of it and ensures consistency. I like that.
It's a massive time saver and quality booster long term.
Okay, and what about for really, really critical stuff, like decisions with major consequences? Is there another layer of quality control?
Absolutely. For those truly critical decisions, maybe a major business strategy pivot, or a sensitive communication, we recommend what you could call advanced quality control.
Sounds serious.
It involves a bit more effort, but it's worth it for high stakes.
Yeah.
The idea is run your carefully crafted prompt, not just on one AI tool, but across multiple different ones.
Ah, so run it on Gemini and Claude and ChatGPT, for instance.
Exactly. Get responses from several of the top models using the same robust prompt. They'll likely have different strengths and might offer slightly different perspectives or solutions.
Okay, so now you have multiple outputs. Then what?
Then you take those different responses and feed them back into one of the AI tools, preferably a strong analytical one, and you ask it to analyze and compare all the responses.
Ask the AI to judge the other AIs.
Sort of. Ask it to synthesize the common themes, identify the unique strengths or weaknesses of each response, and perhaps even recommend the best overall approach or combine the best elements.
That's meta. But I can see how comparing multiple expert opinions from different AIs and then having one synthesize them would lead to a much more robust final decision.
It really does. It moves you beyond just hoping one AI got it right, towards building a system that leverages multiple perspectives for maximum reliability. It's the difference, as you said, between celebrating single wins and building truly effective, dependable systems.
Wow. Okay, so we've covered a lot: how AI thinks, the foundational framework, advanced techniques, building systems. What's the immediate takeaway for someone listening right now? What should they do first?
Great question. Let's make it super actionable. Here's your plan, straight up. First, pick one single task, something you regularly ask an AI to do. Could be writing certain emails, drafting social media content, summarizing reports, analyzing some data, whatever is common for you.
Just one task to start, okay?
Second, Build a prompt for that task using the six-part framework we went through. Role, context, task, format, rules, examples. Take the time to really flesh out each component.
Got it. Build the foundation.
Third, layer on maybe two or three of those advanced techniques we discussed. Maybe add the confidence verification, or think step by step, or try the priming technique if it fits.
Enhance the prompt.
Fourth, and this is key, test it. Run the prompt several times. See what you get back. Does it consistently deliver? Where does it fall short? Tweak the prompt, refine it until the output is genuinely useful with only minimal editing needed from you.
Iterate and improve.
And finally, fifth, once you have a prompt that reliably works for that task, save it. That's the first entry in your personal prompt library.
Start building the library.
Exactly. Just doing this process for one recurring task will fundamentally change how you see and use AI. It puts you way ahead of the curve into that small group of people who really understand how to leverage these tools professionally.
That feels achievable. Start small, build confidence, see the difference.
That's the way.
So wrapping up, it feels like the core message here is pretty clear.
Yeah, I think ultimately the real difference between someone who just dabbles with AI and someone who uses it expertly isn't necessarily about having access to the fanciest, newest tools. It's about how they communicate with those tools.
Yeah.
It's the quality of the conversation.
It really is a communication skill. And hopefully everyone listening now has a much better grasp of how AI actually works, that probabilistic prediction engine.
Right, understanding the why behind the output.
And knowing how to get it to show its work with confidence levels or step-by-step thinking, how to make it improve its own work, how to prime it for deeper insights. Even though it always sounds confident, you now know how to look behind the curtain a bit.
You're equipped to have a much more intelligent, productive conversation with it. So the call to action is simple. Pick that one task. Build that one great prompt using these techniques. Test it. Experience that night and day difference for yourself. I guarantee once you see what's possible, you'll never want to go back to just basic, vague prompting again.
It opens up a whole new level of partnership with these tools. So maybe the final thought for everyone listening is this. The AI revolution isn't just about the fact that these powerful tools exist and are accessible. The real revolution, for you personally and professionally, comes when you learn how to wield them like an expert. So what could you truly achieve if your AI stopped being a sometimes helpful, sometimes frustrating tool, and instead became a genuinely reliable, strategically intelligent partner in your work and your biggest projects?